Okay, yeah, before anybody asks, it's 6 a.m. as I'm recording this video, but Kent Hughes decided to cook today, and he's doing so with some of his own namesake ingredients. The Montreal Canadiens have agreed to terms on a one-year, two-way contract with Connor Hughes. Yeah, he's not one of the Hughes brothers. He's not related to Jack, Quinn, or Luke, as far as we are familiar with. He likely doesn't have any ties to Kent Hughes. Oh, he has a brother, Aiden Hughes. Who is that? Okay, so he does have a brother who is also a hockey goalie. Interestingly enough, wow. 2 goalies in the family. How stressful must that be for their parents buying equipment as they were growing up? But still, Connor Hughes is the newest Montreal Canadien, and the biggest response that I'm seeing in all the replies and everything else is, okay, why? Why did the Montreal Canadiens sign a free agent goalie from Switzerland? Let's take a look at the profile here and talk about the article. So, this is on the Montreal Canadiens website. 1-year contract for Connor Hughes. The 27-year-old netminder played 19 games with Lausanne HC in 23-24. Montreal Canadiens GM Kent Hughes announced on Tuesday the team has agreed to terms on a 1-year, two-way contract with Connor Hughes. Hughes posted a 10-6-1 record, including 2 shutouts in 19 games with Lausanne HC in the Swiss League in 23-24. The 6'4", 231-pound netminder, wow, he's a big guy. 6'4", 231, damn, that's a big body right there. He earned a 173 goals against average and a 940 save percentage. In 18 playoff contests with Lausanne, Hughes recorded 11 wins to help his team reach the final. The 27-year-old netminder maintained a 191 goals against and a 933 save percentage to go with a pair of shutouts. A native of London, Ontario, Hughes went undrafted in the NHL and made his pro debut in Switzerland in 2017-18. So, this is a total journeyman. A guy that came out of nowhere, was not really too touted as an NHL product when he was draft eligible. 1996, the birth date, so he would have been eligible for the 95 class, which would have made him eligible for the 2013 draft, if my math is correct. Is that correct? No, I'm not too sure. Either way, 6'4", 225 is listed on Elite Prospects, a little bit lighter than the 231 pounds that he is listed over here on the Canadiens website. But Connor Hughes was a CCHL goaltender with the Carlsson Place Canadiens. That was the last time he had suited up in North America. He didn't even play in any of the major junior leagues. He was in Junior A, I'm pretty sure this was. So the fact that he was straight out of the CCHL into the National League in Switzerland, playing in the SL, which I think is the second-tier Swiss league, somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section, eventually going out there and playing multiple years in Switzerland. He even represented Team Switzerland internationally. Can you do that? Are you allowed to do that? Okay, yeah, he's representing Switzerland despite being born and raised in London, Ontario. That is awesome for him. Must have gotten that citizenship, didn't he? But this previous season, he did have that crazy season, 940 save percentage, 933 in the playoffs. And if you wanted to go over to the Swiss League in total, he was the best goaltender in the entire league. Although it should be noted that he played like half the games compared to everybody else. His time on ice was half, his saves was half, his goals against, though, was a little bit more than half. So he was a very good goaltender, was the best in save percentage and in goals against, but you can't really go out there and discredit him too hard for the games played because he literally was better than everybody else. I mean, there are some names here that y'all might recognize. Harry Sateri is a part of this league. Red O'Bara is still doing some things. Simon Hrubeck is also a part of the team or the league as well. Not to mention Yuzi Okinyora, some guys that you might be familiar with. So Connor Hughes was the best one of them all, and he's now a Montreal Canadiens player. The thing is, though, with the Habs, it's going to be difficult to try to project where Hughes is going to play. Obviously, heading into the next season, everybody's saying, okay, goaltenders in the Canadian system, it's probably going to be Montembeault, you're probably going to have Primo. No more Jake Allen, he's gone. And then in the AHL, you'll have sort of a rotating cast of extra guys. There are always ECHL, AHL contracted players rotating around, but Jakub Dobes is a guy who is already signed. He could be making some splashes here and there. There are some guys in the NCAA that we're not going to talk about just yet, but for Connor Hughes, if the Canadiens really wanted to project him into being the second tier, let's just say string backup guy in the AHL, that's totally fine. He could be the fourth string, I guess. You could have Montembeault Primo in the NHL, Dobes and Connor Hughes in the AHL, and then of course, if Connor Hughes is able to expand on this momentum that he had in the Swiss League, if he's good enough to play in the NHL, then maybe that makes a guy like Caden Primo expendable. Obviously, we don't want to see that. Like, we don't want to see guys just get expendable because new players are being brought in, but in goaltending, it's so different because you have only 2 available options on your team at any given time. There are very limited spots for goaltenders in the NHL, so that is where the conundrum comes in. Of course, you wouldn't expect Connor Hughes to be an amazing #1 starter caliber guy right away just because he was this good in Switzerland. It usually takes time to adjust to the North American game. But based off of what I'm seeing, I mean, there isn't really any reason to doubt this guy. He was honestly pretty mid for most of his development in the late 2010s and early 2020s. It was only really this season where he had popped off. And honestly, like, the glow up is real. From a .907 save percentage last year to a .940. Just incredible numbers. Literally the first goalie in goals against, save percentage, etc. in the league. And I think he should be able to get himself some awards because of it. Do they have them listed out here? 23, 24? Yeah, okay, so best goals against and best save percentage. I guess the Swiss League did not have any awards voting done just yet. But other than that, I mean, he did have some CCHL hardware back from 2017, which, as we had said, I think that's Junior A. Can we go out there and do that? CCHL. What does that look like here? Yeah, Central Canada Hockey League. It is in Ontario. It is Junior A. Okay, great. Junior A hockey in Ontario certainly is a unique way to spend your development in your junior years, but it's understandable that because he was there, because he put up the numbers that he did, he wasn't really scouted anywhere, he wasn't drafted, eventually going over to Switzerland and doing this entire tour for the next, 7 years? So good on this guy, Connor Hughes, for working himself up to putting himself on an NHL radar, and good on Kent Hughes for giving another Hughes the chance to prove himself at the NHL. Even if Connor Hughes is only an ECHL guy, this will be a prove-it deal. It's why the contract is only 1 year long. If everything doesn't work out, if he's not really great in the NHL, he can just go back over to Switzerland, no big deal. He'll certainly have some interest in that league, mostly because, I mean, he was the best guy this year. So taking his opportunity, going over to North America, trying things out, and seeing if he can carry over that momentum. I respect that a lot. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Montreal Canadiens signing Connor Hughes to a 1-year contract. Do you think this guy's going to be good? If you're a fan of Lausanne HC in the Swiss League, please give us a scouting report. I tried to find something, anything on this guy. I could not find anything. He's 27 years old, so it's not like he's young anyway, but if you've been watching the Lausanne HC this season, or if you've been a fan of Fribourg-Gotteron or any of these other teams that he had played for, Amber Piot is another one, what are your thoughts on how this player has progressed, and how do you think he'll do in the NHL? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.